Hello once again, everybody, and welcome to the Mark Richt Show, brought to you by Williamson Automotive. The coach joins us momentarily. Joe Zagacki with my broadcast partner, Don Bailey Jr. The University of Miami opened up the 2018 season on the road, Arlington, Texas, at AT&T Stadium, falling to the LSU Tigers by a score of 33-17. Don, tough night for the University of Miami. Not much went right for the Hurricanes right from the get-go.
It didn't, Joe. Miami had trouble with field position. That was something that that affected, I think, the game that more than people are talking about. LSU had a great starting point. I think it was at the mid-40 on an average for the entire game. Unfortunately for Miami, they just couldn't get anything generated in the first half. In the second half, they seemed to come to life. I saw some improvement, of course, out of Jeff Thomas. He was a guy that came up big for them the whole night. So had some spectacular catches. You could tell he's bigger, stronger, and even got faster, which I didn't think was possible. But he's taken that leadership role. We're thinking about, who's going to take care of Braxton Berrios' spot from last year. It looks like Jeff Thomas is going to fill in right away with that. I was disappointed that you didn't see a lot more of Armand Richards. We were anticipating seeing him throughout the ball game. He had a great camp and made some electrifying things happen at practice. And unfortunately, he was on the sideline for most of the game. I think that was an effect on Miami as well. And then not having an experienced tight end. When you go and you look back and you think of how Miami's been great over the years, whether it was Njoku and then Herndon, and now you put in two true freshmen, and they're going to have to start to produce. And then, of course, Polindi, who had no catches coming off of last season. I think you're a little handcuffed.
The University of Miami will have their home opener against Savannah State this week, 6 o'clock at Hard Rock Stadium. Only a few thousand seats remain, so get your tickets now. A lot of pressure on Malik Rozier. That comes with the territory, especially here in South Florida. Being a quarterback at the University of Miami, you get all the praise when you win, you get all the criticism when you lose. His performance probably somewhere in between. He made some great throws. He made some throws he probably should have hit. And speaking of hit, he did get hit a lot.
Well, let's go with what you started with. There is an obligation if you play that position at the University of Miami, and there's a tradition. The obligation is you're obligated to run a football team. You're obligated to be the example for everybody, for the community, for the university, and for everybody in the locker room, in the film room, and on the field. And the tradition here is that position comes with a lot of respect, but it also comes with a duty. And the duty is to perform every single day at the best of your ability, no matter what you do, for the whole day. It's not just when you're in the building, it's on the field and off the field. And when you look at Malik, you can't question his toughness. I think from last week, you look at what happened against LSU, he got hit. And there were some decisions where he could have handed the ball off and maybe not have been as productive as his run, or he's going to take it upon himself and go get stung. And LSU was a big, fast, hard-closing defense, and he took some shots. So I think when you look at his ability to run, it's got to offset some of the things that he's not great at. He wasn't particularly as accurate as everybody wanted him to be, but at the same time, you have to give that defense credit. That defense had the Wisconsin game to study because it's basically a very similar defense to that, and they had the whole offseason. So they came out with some excellent players from a Southeastern Conference team that has played in some big games, and they gave the Miami offense and Malik Rozier a lot to handle both mentally and physically.
We will get the coach's view as Coach Richt will join us next. We go into this break with a look back at the highlights of Miami and LSU, brought to you by Williamson Automotive. Hello once again, everybody, and welcome to the Mark Richt Show, brought to you by Williamson Automotive. Joe Zagacki alongside my broadcast partner, Don Bailey Jr. Of course, University of Miami head coach Mark Richt. This week, the Hurricanes are home for their home opener at 6 o'clock at Hard Rock Stadium against Savannah State. Canes coming off a tough night against LSU. Coach will talk about the home opener and all those good things, but let's do an autopsy first of LSU and opening night. When you look back, what were your thoughts?
Well, we didn't get it done. I mean, we didn't get it done. They played better than us. You know, they got turnovers. We didn't get any. You know, early in the game, we knocked the ball out. We don't get on it. Later on, we get a ball in our hands. Could have been an interception. Didn't get on it. Quite frankly, on both those plays, there was a foul. You know, even if we got the ball, they called targeting on the one, and then they called roughing the passer on the other. You know. So, you know, we've got to be more disciplined in what we do. And we take a lot of pride, obviously, in getting turnovers, and we weren't able to get it done. And then we, you know, we got moved the ball a couple times, got a field goal, had a field goal attempt, missed it, but didn't get enough points on the board. Ended up, like I said, you know, we get the turnovers. One's a tip ball, interception for a touchdown. The other one, you know, was just a ball that, you know, shouldn't have been thrown where it was thrown. You know, I mean, that's going to happen. But you know, we did rally. You know, as bad as it looked, and the point differential was bad. We got it within 2 scores with really plenty of time to go tie it up, and maybe even keep going. You know, we had the ball. I know inside the 50 with 5 minutes, 6 minutes, whatever it was, maybe 4.5. 2 timeouts still. If you put one in the end zone there, make the 2-point conversion, now there's, you know, 3-4 minutes, 2 timeouts, get one more stop and have a shot to win the game at the end. So, you know, but I think when they, you know, gave us the gut punch early on of that long run, we just got stunned for a minute and didn't recover fast enough to make it a good game.
Coach, we didn't hear anything from the tight end position as far as catches go, and you have 2 freshmen involved with a sophomore. How'd those guys do in their first experience?
A lot of learning, you know, just getting lined up and knowing the plays. There's so much to learn, and you get 2 freshmen playing a critical position like that. And Brevin got the lion's share of it. He probably got in the 60, 70 plays, and Mallory didn't get quite as many. We didn't run a lot of 2 tight end sets. We ran a little bit, but not a lot. We're in more 3 receiver, 1 tight end sets. And, you know, they got targeted a couple times, but the ball didn't get to their hands. But, you know, they're doing well, and they're going to be really good players, and we'll probably start to see that blossom here right away.
Coach, when you do bring the team back in, obviously when a team loses, there becomes this avalanche, and, you know, there's a lot to play for. There's a whole season here to go. As you try to get all of them, Malik, everybody all focused on, hey, we got 12 more weeks of this stuff.
Oh, yeah. I mean, we know that as coaches, and they know it as players too, but let's face it, we all pour our lives into this game. We pour our lives into preparation for the season, and when things don't go well, it hurts. And, you know, so you got to shake that off and then, you know, figure out what's the best way to feel good again. Well, that's winning. Well, how do you win? Well, everybody's got to do their job, you know, and you got to prepare. And so, you know, getting back to work is really the best medicine a team can have, and start focusing on how to get that victory the next time around. You know, obviously correct whatever mistakes that were made. And some mistakes, I mean, we used to have a correction period where you whatever play didn't go right, you go over and you correct it. But a lot of times you might never see that look again. You know, you're correcting something that may never happen again. So let's focus on the future. Let's focus more on, you know, who we're going to play and what we got to do to win, rather than, you know, looking back. You know, we correct mostly on film. We won't go out there on the field and try to recreate something, because that situation may never come up again. We'll move forward, that's for sure.
All right, moving forward, we will do that as well. We'll continue with University of Miami head coach Mark Richt. Home opener is coming up against Savannah State at 6 o'clock on Saturday. We'll continue with the coach right after this. Happy to welcome you back to the show, brought to you by Williamson Automotive. Joe Zagacki and Don Bailey Jr., University of Miami head coach Mark Richt. Savannah State's coming up, home opener for the University of Miami as we move on into that game. And first of all, you get back into the stadium. It's been a great home field advantage for you. Won all the regular season games at home a year ago, and you got to be looking forward to getting back home.
Right, you know, first home game is a big deal. It's a big deal for our players. It's a big deal for their families. It's a big deal for our fans, and we're looking forward to our fans getting there and getting a chance to see our guys perform live. And you know, 6 p.m. I think will be a good time of the day to play. Probably still be a little warm about then, but it'll cool down pretty quick, and it'll be great conditions to play a football game.
Coach, how about all the fans that traveled out to see Miami play, of course, in Dallas, and what do you expect out of them when they show up on Saturday?
Well, first of all, I do want to thank all the fans that were there. There was a bunch of them, probably more than I expected, to be honest with you. And I wish we'd have given them more to cheer about, you know, especially early on. But, you know, the fans are what make football great. I mean, if no one's in the stands, it's just not that great. It's not that exciting. And so, you know, we want to play well for our fans. And we do want to play well, you know, for our students and our university. But in our city, you know, it means a lot to our players, I promise you. It means a lot to the coaching staff. So, you know, we're going to work our tails off and get ready to start winning again.
Last year, perfect home record during the regular season for the first time since 2002. You played a lot of guys against LSU, and perhaps maybe a few more guys will be able to get into this game, if not putting the cart before the horse, but you'd like to play a lot of guys.
Yeah, I mean, as much experience as you can get, especially the young players, the better WAF will be. But, you know, we got to get our first teamers doing right and playing the way they should be playing. And but I do also know that the more guys that play, the fresher your team is, the healthier you are, and the better the morale is going to be. So, you know, some guys obviously didn't get to play. I'm sure they're disappointed, especially, you know, some of the freshmen. But, you know, as the season wears on, they're going to play. And, you know, hopefully this week will be one where we can do that.
How do you alter the week, Coach? We land at 6 o'clock, get back to the Heck Center at 6 o'clock in the morning on Sunday. That day's kind of a
well, like even,
washout.
Yeah, I mean, even trying to do all the obligations I have as head coach, doing this show and radio and all that kind of thing. And, you know, a lot of times that's done on an off day for the players. Well, today's a on day for the players, you know. So basically we gave them Monday off. And then we're going Tuesday, Wednesday. We'll practice Thursday and Friday. So we're going to get the 4 days. The Tuesday practice is going to be very much like a Sunday, very short. And then we'll be preparing for Wednesday and Thursday to treat it like Tuesday and Wednesday. And on Friday, we got to have our dress rehearsal day. Whether we go full speed in shorts or just have a glorified walkthrough, I don't know. Then we'll go play that game. So a short week is tough, especially when you get in at 5 a.m. after the ball game.
Some of those young guys that did get in against LSU, that was a pretty good experience. That was very physical, big squad, and they got a good taste, some of the young guys.
Yeah, I mean, they were talented. We knew that. They've always been talented, but we're talented too. But it was a big stage. I mean, everybody in America was watching it, and it was in the beautiful stadium, you know, the Jerry Dome or whatever we call it, and you know, so there was a lot of moving parts that they got to experience that will help them in the future.
Travel-wise, dress-wise, how do things change from on the road to playing at home?
Well, we're not into conference play yet. When you have conference play and you're away, 72 is the max that you can bring. That's just all there is to it. Non-conference games, you can pretty much travel as many as you want. You can decide how many players you want to go to the hotel the night before the game. And, you know, so that's kind of even at home we have a travel squad because only so many go to the hotel the night before the game for that prep work. And we don't have a conference limitation this weekend. So we'll have a little bit more than we normally do for a conference game. But we're gonna get this thing whittled down to 72 as far as the travel team here pretty quick.
All right, well, you've won 9 straight regular season games at Hard Rock Stadium, so best of luck extending that winning streak to 10 on Saturday, and still an entire season to go here. I think we have to get back to that perspective a little bit. Got a long way to go.
We haven't started conference play yet. We got another month before that, so we'll be ready to go.
All right, Coach, thank you.
Yep, thank you, man.
That's University of Miami head coach Mark Richt. When we continue, Don Bailey Jr. and I will take a look at the upcoming opponent and more right here on the Mark Richt Show. We'll be back right after this. On the Mark Richt Show, brought to you by Williamson Automotive, Joe Ziacki and Don Bailey Jr. On Saturday, it's Miami and Savannah State at Hard Rock Stadium, the home opener for the University of Miami. Well, that's always a good thing, a home opener, and hopefully fans will get past the LSU game. I know it's hard, but it is the home opener. It should be a lot of fun.
They'll get past it, and once again, you know, I'm going to talk about it in the ball game, of course, but the amount of fans that showed up in Dallas, Texas was as impressive as it's ever been. I mean, there were more fans there, it seemed, than a lot of the bowl games that we've gone to in the last few years. But the home opener special, it's special obviously for the seniors. You know, this is your last go round at home. Then Miami also last year set an example of what the Hard Rock can be against the Virginia Tech and against Notre Dame, and even in the Wisconsin in the bowl game. There was so much push from our fans against the opponent. They were truly the 12th man, and you got to make sure that tradition continues this year. All
right, Savannah State is the opponent. Now, truth be told, they're 0-1. Coach Richt said they both have the same record. They lost 52-0 to Alabama Birmingham. So you would expect that this would be a game where the University of Miami will be able to play a lot of players. So fans will see probably the entire roster, all the freshmen they've heard a lot of things about, from Silvera to Hightower to Ivy to Pope. If things go the right way, Lingard, they'll see them. They'll be very excited to see them, and they should see all the quarterbacks.
Well, the other side of it is it gives you, normally in the past, a lot of teams open up with this type of ball game, right? So then you go into that and you can work through all the mistakes and you can get all the calls and the communication done. Well, Miami had a top-notch opponent in game one. So you're going to come in now, game two, you're going to clean up a lot of mistakes. And I think that's important to know. Earlier in the week, they spent a lot of time, hours, going back over the LSU game to learn from that and to take it in and then clean it up and then start to execute, because you've got to worry about yourself on Saturday. You've got to worry about how you run, how your defense runs, how your offense runs, how you handle your special teams, and how execution comes into play. The communication and the penalties, all of those things, you've got an opportunity to take what you learned, take what you had last week, clean it all up, and now find perfection.
The home opener for the University of Miami against Savannah State. A few tickets remain, so check it out at hurricanesports.com. A few thousand season tickets remain, so a good chance to get your season tickets as well. For University of Miami head coach Mark Richt and Don Bailey Jr., I'm Joe Ziacki. Thanks for joining us on the Mark Richt Show. We'll see you next time, and go Kings.